Hey everybody, it's me again, Belinda. Just making today a silicone mould from scratch with using Lego pieces that I have built together a frame. You've got to make sure that when you do build it, that you make sure that all the pieces are well stuck together. And yeah, you'll also need whatever it is you're going to put inside it. What I do to work out how much silicone I need to use, I put my little items inside it, and then once I've got them sort of in place of roughly where I want to put them, I'm going to pour in some rice. So what happens is when I pour all the rice in, I move the Legos out the way, as you'll see shortly. I'll move the Legos out the way, take the letters out, and then I'll scoop up all the rice and put it into measuring cups and work out how much silicone I'm going to need. So I also sometimes maybe add a little bit of extra of the Silicreate, or Silicreate I think it's pronounced, just to cater for air between the rice pieces, etc. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. So what I'm doing now is I'm pouring all the rice out. I'm going to level it out as best as possible to the height that I want my silicone mould to be above my letters. So making sure that you push it all into the corners and all the gaps, and then sort of flatten it all out. This is a really great technique that I found on another YouTube channel. There was a lot of different ways of making silicone molds that I came across, and to me this one looked the best, so this is the one that I'm giving it a go with. I do know that Silicreate or a lot of silicones don't sort of work well with wood or MDF and stuff like that, but hey, I'm going to give it a go and see what happens. So it's either going to be a waste of silicone or it's going to be perfect. We'll see how we go at the end of it. So I just pull out all the letters, and yeah, once I've got all these letters out, I'm just going to scoop it all up and I'm going to put it into a bowl, and then I'll just pour it into my measuring cups and just sort of see which measuring cup it fills up, so I know how much Silicreate to use. I think it's pronounced Silicreate. I'll put a link down below of where I got my silicone from in case anybody out there wants to give it a go and make their own molds as well. Yeah, it's pretty good. So just put all of it in there, get 99.9% of the rice into your bowl. Bear with me for a minute. Once that's all done, I'm just going to pour it into my measuring cups. So I've got a feeling it'll probably be a full cup's worth of rice, but we'll see how we go. So I'll start trying it with the full cup, measuring cup, and see if that's all I need. Yeah, look at that. So pretty much 1 cup's full of rice. So because it's 1 cup full of rice, I'm going to use 1 cup of the Silicreate. So Silicreate, the one that I've chosen from them, it is part A and part B, and it's equal parts of both part A and part B. So I will do half a cup of part A, and then I'm going to do half a cup of part B. So yep, and rice you can just reuse over and over and over again. It saves wasting your silicone because it can be quite expensive if you just try and estimate it. Okay, so now for this part, what you're going to do is with your Lego pieces, you're going to make sure it's all definitely put together properly. Once you've done that, you're going to have some cut out contact paper, which I've already pre-done to my size of my Legos. Peel it off the backing. Once you've peeled off the backing, you're going to place it down nice and flat, and you're going to stick your Lego wall on top of it. So lay it down flat, grab your Lego, stick it as center as possible, and then you're going to smooth it down on there. Make sure it's well and truly stuck properly. You can pull up each side stick it to the sides. This will ensure that the silicone doesn't slip out underneath when you pour it in there. So yeah, once I've just pushed all this down, I'll show you what I mean. Give me one sec. So I'm going to grab it and I'm going to pull it up as hard as I can and stick it to the Lego walls. And I'm going to do this for each particular side. So again, pull it up, stick it to the wall. And I'll turn it around again and I'll do the next side. Pull it up, stick it to the wall. Squish the sides in and then do the last one. Pull it up, stick it against the wall and then squish the sides in. Just like that. Give it another push down again. Just ensure that it's all stuck together. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just scrape along the edging of the Legos just so that the contact sticks pretty good. If you get a good strong stick to the Legos or whatever particular item you're using as your wall for your silicone, you shouldn't have much leakage, if not any. So this is all I do. I just grab whatever's handy. You can use a credit card, you can use a whatever you've got there to smooth down the edges. So just give it a good smooth all over. That's it. It's all stuck on there, ready to go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my pieces where I want them to be inside the mould. I'm not going to push down hard just yet, just in case I need to move them. So I'll just roughly put them where I want them. If I'm happy with it, then I'll start to force each piece down to the contact, just to make sure that it sticks really well. You want them to stick really well because you don't want any of the silicone to leak underneath. So I know it says the word love, but these were just to show you a bunch of letters, and I thought, why not make a word? So I think that'll do. So what I'm doing now is I'm just pushing down as hard as I can. I can't push too hard with my left hand, so I'm trying to do most of it with my right. Just sticking him down, pushing him, pushing him, pushing. Fix up that L because I just knocked it out of place. Alrighty, they're hard enough, I think. Just a little bit more. Just double check that the L's completely stuck down properly. Everything looks pretty good. Just a quick more tap. Just double check the sides again. All looks good. Everything seems to be stuck. So now I'm ready to pour my Silicreate. So this is the Silicreate that I use, or Silicreate is part A, and there's part B. So with this particular brand and the one that I've chosen, it's equal parts. You'll use part A and part B, the same amount. And I just pour it into a bowl that I've just purchased from Coles, and I'll use these measuring cups that I also purchased from Coles. The silicone at the end of the day, when it's dry and set, will just peel out and your cleaning up's done. So part A, as we said before, we had a whole cup of rice, so we're going to split part A and part B to make up 1 full cup. So 1/2 a cup of part A is what I'm doing right now. Filling it to the brim. Then once I've filled it to the brim, I'll whack my lid back on, and then I'll grab my plastic scraper and I will pour it into the bowl and scrape as much of it as I can out of the cup into the bowl. You're not going to be able to get every single bit out, but you'll get a decent amount out of the cup. So use a plastic scraper because silicone doesn't stick to silicone, and silicone does stick to silicone, and you've got to like sit there and wash and wash and wash to get it all off. It does come off eventually, but it's a pain to do it. Whereas if you do it to the plastic, if you let it set like you would for a mold, just peel it and it's done. Alrighty, so I've done that. Now I'm going to do part B, which is the exact same amount. But once I've done it, you need to make sure everything is ready to go, because you only have a 5-minute window, roughly 5 to 7 minute window. I try to stick to the 5 minutes. Once you mix the two parts together, it starts to set within about 5 minutes. So you need to get all your stirring done within that 5 minutes and then start pouring into your mold. So I'm just mixing it now, putting part B in there with part A. Again, scraping out as much as I can so that it's equal amount of parts in the bowl. Like I said before, you're not going to get all of it out, but you'll get most of it out. Once it's done, just put it aside, and then you'll need to start mixing. So now I've got roughly 5 minutes to stir. But don't go overboard making it really, really fast, because you'll get a lot of bubbles. So when you start pouring it, get a toothpick, and just sort of poke bubbles that come up to get rid of them. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir like I do with resin. You're going to stir, 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 scrape the sides, stir. And you're going to do this for approximately 5 minutes. So I tend to put on a timer. As soon as that timer goes off, I start pouring. Otherwise, it starts to set pretty quick, because I've chosen the fast set. So mine's only 30 minutes and I have a mold. Whereas the other brand that they have, it can be, I think, 6 hours, it says. But I'm impatient, so I'll get back to you when this is set, ready to go. So I've just about finished stirring for the last 5 minutes. So I've got to start to pour it into the Legos over the top of my letters. Just picking out a little bit of stuff that's fallen in there onto the contact paper. Pour from a bit of a height at a steady pace. Not too slow, but not too fast either. And then with a toothpick, pop any bubbles that should arise. So here we go. Sorry about that, the camera went off. Anyways, finish pouring the rest of the silicone out into the tray here, covering all the letters nice and evenly. And I think that has worked out correctly with the amount of silicone and not adding any extra in. So just the 1 cup, which half was part A and half was part B of the Silicreate. I think it's turned out pretty damn good. So hopefully, when everybody says that you can't stick it to wood or MDF, that I prove them wrong. See how we go, and I might have a good little mold. Anyways, just leave your bowl there, give it time to set as well, and clean up is a cinch. You just peel it off and it's done. Just poking out any bubbles that have come up to the top surface with a little stick. Do that before it starts to set, otherwise it'll set with bubbles in it. Anyway, it's pretty much done now. So what I'll do is I'll put a cover over the top of it to try and stop anything from falling in there while it's curing for half an hour. So the one that I've chosen only takes half an hour to set, whereas the other one that you can get from this company, it takes about, I think it's about 6 hours to set. So I'm very impatient, so I go with a half-hour set so I can start using my mold. Anyway, that's done. I'll cover it up and I'll see you when it's completed. Thanks for watching. Hey everybody, I'm back again. Now I finished my project. I had it covered over. Unfortunately, when I covered it over, there was some crap inside the container, which has fallen in my mold. It's only tiny and it's going to be on the back of the molds, and it's my mold, so I'm not really fussed. Other than that, if you have a look, the mold has completely set, and now I just got to demold it. Here we go. I'm going to start with unwrapping the contact paper first. So you get the contact paper off it and then go from there. So just give me a second. I struggle a little bit here because of my arm, but I would get there. Crafting helps me take the mind off the pain, so I'm loving it. And I don't sit there and just go. I got to take breaks in between. So what half an hour video you see can take me half a day to do, if not longer. Anyways, don't worry about my problems. Let's worry about crafting, because crafting is what we're here for. Look, almost done. Off. Yes. That look pretty cool so far. So now I'm just going to take off the Lego pieces now. Oh, exciting. So just wondering whether or not we're going to be able to get these wooden pieces out, or if they're going to stick to it and wreck the mold. We'll see. Almost there. Getting excited. Alright, now for the true test. Here we go. Oh, it's a bit of a struggle trying to get them out, but don't know yet. Who knows? It might work. Fingers crossed, everybody. Oh, it's getting really hard. It's coming out, but it's really stuck. So you've got to really release it from the letter. So I can see why they say don't use wood, but people say it doesn't work at all. But I'm determined to get them out and see if it's worked, or if it rips the molds trying to get them out because they're stuck to it. Got to use a lot of pressure though to get the wood out, unfortunately. Come on, get out. Oh, they might be right. Oh, hang on a minute. Come on, out you come, please. Don't really want to waste my silicone, but as we said at the beginning, this is just a trial and error. I just wanted to see if I could get it to work. Trial and error. Oh, got a piece out. Come on. With a piece that I've just pulled out, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with that area. So if I can get them all out, I might be in with a bit of luck here. Come on. Out you come, please. Sorry guys, this looks painful, doesn't it? Never give up. I'm not going to give up. Keep going. Come on, you little bugger. It's coming. Yes, look at that. Oh, almost out. I don't think I'd do these again, but if it works, great. But it's kind of a lot of effort and struggle for me with my arms, so I don't think I'll be doing these MDF ones again, even if it does work. But I'll still use a mold if it works. We'll see. Alrighties. Okay, well I might go get my son to get these out for me, because I'm excuse me, I'm struggling to get them out, and I'll come back to you with the finished mold. Hi guys, I'm back again. Here's the mold. This is the finished product. My son was able to get all the wooden pieces out, and I think it turned out just fine, don't you think? Anyways, all it needs now is just a quick warm soapy wash, and she's good to go. And then all I have to do is do another separate video tomorrow or soon with it filled with my resin creation, so you can all see how it works and turns out. Looking forward to the next video. Thank you for watching. I appreciate everybody watching. Please like, subscribe and share the videos. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Have a nice day, evening, wherever you're from. Bye. Thanks for watching.